I have sick fish. My fish are sick. What should I do? It's a common theme throughout the website. And this little audio track is intended to deal with that, kind of give you an orientation. Ostensibly, you've arrived at my website trying to find some help for a sick fish or a group of sick fish. They could be pond fish or saltwater or freshwater fish in an aquarium. And I can help you, very likely. The fish diseases are similar through ponds, aquariums, and marine systems. Most everything starts with husbandry, whether or not you've met the requirements for the fish or water quality needs. And then, of course, there is a percentage of cases that are related to parasites. And then finally, there are many cases that are infected with bacteria also. And usually it goes this way. Usually it's water quality deteriorates, or they're overcrowded or overfed, and then their immune system is slightly weakened, and then a parasite gets the upper hand over them. You start seeing signs of parasitism, and then the fish break with a bacterial infection. So you're kind of dealing with all three quite often, and you need to sort of sort that out. Well, a friend of mine came up with a 20-step thing about ponds, and it was like installing ponds or something like that, and broke it down into 20 basic steps, and that kept people's minds kind of organized and not going off in tangents and down too far down rabbit holes. And I kind of like that idea, so I came up with a 20-step to fish diseases, and it's all over the website, and I hope you'll find your way there. Because, as I mentioned, if it's water quality begets, parasitism begets bacterial infections, and even throwing some viruses in there for good measure, you're going to need all the help you can get. And it's not really just like going and buying a bottle of medication and putting that in the tank and expecting the fish to get better. Because if water quality is terrible, they're just not going to get better. Or if you treat a parasite, it's likely the bacterial infection is going to stick around. So you kind of need to know the whole enchilada. So I would encourage you to look at the 20 steps. The purpose of this audio track basically is to encourage you to look at fish disease cases the same way, in a circumspect fashion, and find your way over to the 20-step videos and take the time to look at those. But what happens if you go through the 20 steps and it turns out your fish aren't crowded, and that the water turnover is good, and that you are changing adequate amounts of water, and the symptom that you're seeing isn't listed in the parasites video, and it's obviously not fungus, and what then? Well, also, throughout the site, there are various contact forms that you can reach out with. One of them is the monthly Ask the Doc video. I don't particularly have a problem with you sending in a question about a sick fish through that. Other times, people will call the office, and depending on what they're saying, I might have you email the office directly, and I could consult with you that way. Some of the cases turn into teaching cases. But my frustration is endless with folks that call and say the fish have clamped fins and they're not eating, and they don't even know what their water quality is. So the pH could be crashed, or the ammonia levels could be sky high, or the fish could be crowded into 3 inches per gallon. And it's just, those cases just sap your time. And it's not that I don't appreciate those people and their plight, but it just seems like sometimes as our culture goes forward that we are less and less self-reliant. We just want to be spoon-fed, and that's not cool. So what I'm saying is, if you have sick fish, you'll probably save them in the first 20 steps, actually the first 5 steps of the 20 steps, because that really goes down through the crowding, quarantine, feeding, water turnover, water changes, and water quality issues. And that's usually where everything is, honestly. And then you just throw some BSDT in there once you fix the actual environment. But if you have the need for some help, and you've listened this far, in the video or the audio track, then I would invite you to access the Fish Help question submission form. And again, this is just a reward for people listening all the way to the end. That would be drjohnson.com/help. drjohnson.com/HELP. There's a sweet little form right there for fish health questions. You can use that. And congratulations on listening to the end of this video.